So I want to start this video with a little thought experiment for you guys. How many of you had to take a second language in school, whether it's middle school, high school, maybe even college? How many of you left school being able to speak a second language? Now, if you live in the United States and you're like every single person I know, nobody left school speaking a second language. Now, I also want you to think about, why did you leave school and not be able to speak a second language, even though you were going to class 2 to 3 times a week, every single week, for years on end? Now, that's something that I think about a lot. One of the factors may be, okay, you didn't get exposure outside of school, but I think there's a lot of things that they did in school that did not help you guys learn a second language. And I think a lot of people do the exact same thing when it comes to coaching basketball. The first one, it's extremely boring, right? You guys, how many of you looked forward to going to your second language class? Probably none of you. It was extremely boring. There was no fun involved, and it was pretty much just memorize words, repeat them, write them down, and leave. But imagine if you were excited to go to that second language learning class. Imagine if you walked into class, first 10 minutes, music was playing in that language that you guys are trying to learn. Imagine if, okay, the next 30 minutes you guys got to watch a Netflix show that was in that language, right? You'd be a little bit more bought into learning it. And once you're a little more bought in, you're like, I kind of like this, I kind of want to learn it. And then, okay, maybe the last 15 minutes you guys are just forced to speak in only that language. Well, if you're not speaking that language, you can't talk. So, okay, well, I want to at least try, right? So you're more bought in, it's more fun. Imagine that. You'd have a much higher chance of being able to speak that language. Second thing is, you learn all of these words out of context. You learn phrases, you learn these things. But again, number one, you don't learn them how to actually speak it in that specific scenario you use it in. You learn words that are not tied to the phrases or the sentences or the questions you're going to use them in. So when you have to put it all back together, you kind of mess it up, right? So for example, say you learn a word or a phrase and then you have to actually go and say it to somebody. I don't know what to say because I didn't learn it in this context, right? Same thing with basketball. Again, I'll tie it to that in a minute. Third thing is, there's just really not that much challenge involved, right? Okay, it's just memorization. Do this, do that. Okay, boom, memorize. Okay, I got to write it down. Boom, you pass the test. Done. Forget about it. And then the fourth thing is, you really just start with the basics. And the basics, going back to the first point, are boring. No one likes to just go through the basics and learn in this very methodical pattern. Again, we're learning it, we're memorizing it, it's boring, it's out of context. And because of all of these reasons that I just said, most of you did not want to go to that second language learning class, and most of you never ended up being able to speak that language. Now, how does this tie into basketball? How do people actually do the exact same thing? Number one, it's boring, right? Okay, you're going to practice, we're learning these basic skills, we're learning these things at a cone, there's no defense, there's no score, it's not competitive, it's boring. If it's boring, who's gonna want to go and who's gonna actually want to go and do it? Not many people. Number two, it's out of context. Okay, we're going to make a move at this cone. Okay, but why am I making this move, right? You don't know. You're just saying, go make a crossover at this cone, but the kid's not learning, why am I making this cross? What happens when I do make this cross and the defense does this? There's no read involved, there's no context. I don't know when I'm going to do this, so that then they don't learn it. And we'll put it back together, but then we'll play defense at the end. Again, it's out of context, so it's two different things. You're learning this skill in two different environments. You're better off struggling through it in the right context, and that's how you're going to actually learn. That's how it's going to stick. The third one, again, there's not much challenge. You're going to make a move at a cone. You're doing layups. You're doing the same thing over and over again. It's just memorization. Same way that we learn languages, and it's exactly why we don't learn them and why it doesn't stick and you can't remember it, because there's no challenge, it's out of context, it's boring. And then the fourth reason, like I said, is we're just doing all the basics. We're working our way up. That's not how you A, learn a language, and that's B, not how you learn any skill. The best analogy that I have for language learning that ties perfectly into learning basketball: exposure first, accuracy second. How do you learn a language? Best way to do it: go to that country, be there for 3 months, figure it out. Same way that most elite basketball players learn how to play basketball. Go to the park, play pickup, get your punched, get the ball stolen. You're forced to figure it out, right? That's how pretty much every single elite athlete was made. They got that exposure first. They got years and years and years and years of pickup. Then they started to get that accuracy, learn the crossover, tighten up this footwork, right? Then we started to pick these things apart. Then we started to work on the accuracy, not the other way around. Not, let's work on this basic through the legs move. Then when you get that, then we can add a crossover. Then we can add defense. If we reverse engineer how to learn a language, if we reverse engineer how to learn anything, how these elite athletes become elite athletes, there's a lot of commonalities. Like I said, exposure first, accuracy second. It's a very good thought experiment. I think all of you guys watching, I'm in the process of trying to learn Italian, and I think it is a great process to kind of tie everything that I've been learning in terms of skill acquisition off the court and apply it to this language learning and test everything out and try it, right? A lot of the ways that I'm trying to learn Italian, which I think is beneficial in terms of skill acquisition: listen to Italian music, try to watch shows in Italian, get as much exposure to it as I can, and then obviously I'm kind of working through Duolingo, which is the language learning app, but that's kind of same mentality mentality as a school, right? And then I'm also going to Italy in about a week from now, so I'll get great practice at that. I'm going to try to put myself in a lot of situations where I'm forced to use that language. Really good way that you guys can learn how to be an elite level basketball player. Go play a lot of pickup, get a lot of exposure, come back, clean things up a little bit, boom, go back, play with real defense, do all these moves on real defense, come back, clean it up, maybe take away the defense, work on things, boom, go back right into it. So we want to be in that environment. We want to get exposed as much as we can, especially in the beginning. Then we can work on the quote unquote basics down the road. Most of the time what you'll see is through that exposure, they'll learn the basics. So you can kind of skip right over it. I'll make a whole video on that soon. But I hope this helped you guys. I hope it made you guys think at least a little bit. If it helped you guys, let me know. Appreciate you guys. See you guys soon. Peace.